Hi all, welcome back to my Texture channel. So in this Java interview questions, I'm going to cover up what's the difference between HashMap and Synchronized HashMap and the latest one which is introduced as part of JDK5 concurrency package. It's called a Concurrent HashMap. So let me start with a fundamental. So before we have a HashMap, we have a hash table. Hash table is part of a Java legacy. And hash table is a synchronized. So because it's a synchronized, it has its own performance bottleneck. That is why no one these days using the hash table. And yeah, and we have a HashMap, a very good Java collection. So in the HashMap we can store a value data using a key and value pair. Like we have a for storing any data, we use a key, and using the key we can fetch the data. That is how the HashMap works, right? So obviously the HashMap in the multi-threaded environment, the HashMap is not thread safe. So to make the HashMap thread safe, we can do it in different ways, and let's see what are the different ways to make the HashMap thread safe, and what is the pros and cons of each implementation, right? So one of the way is using the synchronized block, get a lock of the HashMap object and put the data, right? Get the data. So that is one way. The other way is using the Java utils collections framework, and the framework is giving us a synchronized map method using which you can get a synchronized map. So the first and second are almost same. Like here we are manually trying to synchronize the HashMap object. In the second one we have a utility to do what we are doing in the step one, right? So what happening in these two, right? So that is shown in this picture. So let's say I have a HashMap, okay? When I'm assuming like the thread T1 is trying to get or put the data into the HashMap. So what happened, it got the lock, okay, and their lock and for this object, okay. So unless the thread 1 release the lock, the rest of the threads like thread T2, right, as shown in this picture, it has to wait until the thread T1 release the lock. So that's a big issue of using the synchronized keyword as using the synchronized map. To overcome that, okay, in the concurrent HashMap, okay, what they are doing, they are synchronizing only the put method. The read method is not synchronized. So any thread can go and read the data. So read is not blocked, okay. So that way the performance is improved from the read perspective. From the write perspective, what they are doing is they are dividing the data into multiple segments. Okay. For example, let's say I have a 50 records, okay, and I'm dividing my records into 5 segments, okay. In that case, the first 5 thread T1 to T5, okay, they can access each segment. Let's say the thread 1 is accessing the first segment with data 1 to 10 records, and T2 with 11 to 20 records. Similarly, like T5, the last 40 to 50 records. Okay. So the first 5 threads has given the permission, to write a record. Okay. The sister thread, okay, suppose the sister thread want to manipulate or want to modify data in the first segment, okay, then it need to wait till the thread T1 release the lock for the first segment. So that is how this entire frameworks work. This entire concurrent HashMap framework work. Okay, in this way, they are trying to improve the performance, okay, even during the read or delete the data. So that's a very good approach. Okay. So when we want to use the concurrent HashMap, is like it is in the multi-threading environment. It is better to use the concurrent HashMap for a better performance. Otherwise, if you use the synchronized or synchronized map, you will always end up with a performance issue. Yes, like you are blocking the entire, you are blocking the rest of the threads to put or delete, to read or write the data into the HashMap, right? So I hope you all understand. If you like this session, please subscribe using the bell button. So I'll be posting more questions in futures, like more interesting questions. So you will get the update on those questions.